Hello, Novels and Bits listener. Welcome to another episode. I'm so glad that you are here with me. My name is Chizoba Katie if you're here for the first time. Then, if you're not here for the first time, thank you for stopping by and thinking that this is what your time. I really don't take for granted that you listen, because if you did not listen, I would have no reason to be doing this. So I really appreciate you, and I appreciate our community and what we are doing here together. So we're going to continue from where we left off on Monday. So if this is the first part you're listening to, this started with the previous episode. I'd advise you listen to the previous one, then continue with this one. However, I'll always give a very brief recap. It is brief because I want you to go and listen to the other one. Thank you very much. No, it's actually really worth your time. Oh. Don't forget I'm saying it like this. It's actually good. I mean, if you can listen to this one, I feel like you should also listen to the other one. Yeah, I know. So, today, look at what the story is about, but I call this one a special. Normally, on this channel, we normally do novels. But this one, I said that is a drama that I watched. Like, I love Korean dramas. I love K-world and I love K-entertainment in general. I'm obsessed with K-pop groups and all of that. So, if this is... Okay, this is probably the first time I'm saying this on this podcast. But is it truth? I really love them a lot. I think I watch at least a dance video or something on a daily basis. This is a K-drama that I watched. I've not actually been watching K-dramas for a while now because, life will get busy now. All the things you like, you don't really do it. But this one was actually lighthearted. But more than just lighthearted, it had a lot of points I really wanted to touch on that I felt was so relatable. And so I'm gisting the first 7 episodes. So I'm not spoiling to the end. There are about 16 episodes on the drama. So if you really like it enough, you can DM me, ask me maybe what link you can download it from, or you can watch it on Netflix. I don't know if this one is available on Netflix, Sha. But just, Sha, if you like the drama enough and you want to finish the rest of it, just get in touch with me. I'll tell you how. But for now, I'm still just seeing the first 7 episodes, what I found so relatable, and why I think it's such a great drama time. Look at the recap here. So the name of this drama is Bora. I didn't say the name the last time, but the name of this drama is Bora. The name of the main girl, Deborah. So she's this dating coach that she used to appear on TV. She's an author. She appears on this radio talk show. She's an influencer. She's very busy, but she's chill. All these pretty girls. She's chill. She lives with her younger sister, Bomi, that can be stubborn at times. And pressure you get of Bomi at first is that she's this kind of person that just likes to spend her sister's money, or just because her sister is rich, she just carry her sister's clothes, her sister's shoe. But actually, the way this girl loves her sister, that girl was the person who brought her sister out of the mess, which you're going to see. I'm not going to spoil it because this is part of what we are just in the first 7 episodes, so you'll see it now. So anyhow, Bora had a boyfriend. As a dating coach, obviously she's coaching people based on, I was able to do it so well, so you can copy me too. And the thing is, she's good at advising, but sometimes coaches forget. The truth is, coaches are good at their jobs. At least if a coach is good, a coach is good. But a coach is good does not always mean that they would always replicate the same results in their life, because life is unpredictable. So it's literally the case with what happened to Bora, because with all her head knowledge and how she's advised and helped people and everything, her own boyfriend ended up feeling suffocated around her. Auntie was waiting for engagement. Uncle was planning on how to separate from her. So fortunately for him, she caught him cheating. And if it was just cheating, it's better. He would have begged Abby. But God just saw the cheating as his way out. And then he just found the avenue and ended things with her. And was trying to let us end amicably. But this is Auntie that has already seen her entire life with this guy. She has already seen them married in their head. All the children they will have, how they'll grow old together. And obviously, she has this ideology that dating ends with a proposal and then a marriage and then happily ever after. That's the scenario she paints in her books. So this is a case of she does not know where to go from here. She really does not know where to go from here. And that's not what was pain. God, I fell for her. And you're really going to feel for her. So Meanwhile, she's just been coping with the breakup and everything. She tries to take it a day at a time. So on this particular day, she had an engagement to speak at. But like a major night event like that she was, and this is someone going through a heartbreak. She had not even slept. She slept throughout the day because that previous night her and her boyfriend her ex-boyfriend had a shouting match. It didn't end well. She's down and she had to like go on stage. So to get through that stage, she drank a lot, like a lot of wine. And then she was calling Juwan. Juwan is the ex-boyfriend. She was calling him multiple times on the phone, that kind of thing. This is someone she's been used to, 3 years and counting. Like, it's not easy. Bonko was not answering. So she just got on stage drunk. And then she said many outrageous things. She cussed at men. She called them bastards. You know, she even made, like, the F sign, like, with her hand, like, you know. So she just did a lot of awful things on stage. And how she ended things was that she tripped. Like, that was if that, I won't even say what saved that, because if she had tripped earlier on, it would have been better. But after saying so many outrageous things, people are now shocked. She now tripped on her high heels and fell backwards on stage. And this whole thing would obviously will happen in slow motion to make it more dramatic. Very catastrophic event. And she was not wearing a short, shiny gown. Like, she was wearing this gown that was above her knees. It wasn't extremely short, but it was short. And then when she fell, because the way she fell like backwards now. So her leg is facing the audience, so her pants was just showing so there was this loud gasp of wow, look at. So people were already even taking videos of her when she was talking. They captured everything. Surprisingly, it was Hyuk who came to her rescue. The guy did not like her first, based on she's a no-it-all. How can she be judging other people's love life? But as he's getting to know as a human, as a writer, he seemed like okay, maybe I judged too early. And this guy was actually going through his own heartbreak, because both of them went through heartbreak similar time. His own came first, her own came later, but her own was more pronounced and much more severe than his own and everything. And I feel like that was what started really binding them. And then they had to walk. They were okay. I'm spoiling, but you shall still see his role. But the point is, they were enemies to lovers. He shall knew how the boyfriend broke up, because he happened to be there and many things. So he felt pity for her. He was even the person. It was that surprisingly, because even before this moment, he's been like her enemy, low key. But it was him who came to her rescue. Like, took off his jacket, covered her legs, you know, so that to cover the view now. Then he now carried her out of there, like out of that place. After that day, the backlash from the public was just massive. And then the president of Jinli Publishing, so Hyuk is the vice president of Jinli Publishing, but the president, Sang Jin, he didn't want to work with her anymore. I was like, they'll just keep an eye on things. You know, now everybody's looking for business. At that moment, her reputation was literally in the mud. Do you get? And then Bora it also worked out, because at that point, Bora didn't even want to write love books again. She's like, okay, the one I have written, what has come out of it? Like, do you get? All the advice I've given people, see my life now. So she didn't even want to do it anymore. As for the public backlash, she posted a handwritten apology, and that detailed like why she acted that way. Very few people were sympathetic. People are like, she used to act like she knows everything, but look at now, because of heartbreak, she's just embarrassing herself up and down. She's like, they criticize her. Do you understand? Like, the way people used to be happy to see somebody fall down. But it's so funny, because even if, let's say, your life shatters because of an event, maybe your reputation is more than everything, people also like a comeback story, in terms of if this person survived that phase and they keep bounce back, they'll be like, everybody loves a good comeback story, but they will be the ones to still match on you very well when you fall. Like, humans and their ways, you better not dwell on it. So fickle. So, for days after that, after the whole backlash and everything, Deborah wasn't herself at all. But it wasn't even the backlash that was making her that way. The heartbreak thing was still paining her. She was always crying. She was depressed. Meanwhile, Suhok himself, like I said, he's dealing with his own heartbreak too. He went to his ex's house. He found out another man, because he was like, what if I go there and talk to her? As he went there, until was outside of her house with man that came to see her. Like, they came out of the house, she was telling him bye-bye, they were hugging, you know, her new boyfriend now, she had moved on. The next day, while dealing with his own pain of heartbreak, Suhok was driving. Like, he was driving, and then he saw Bora crying out of the window of a moving bus, because she went out trying to relieve herself, and the entire bus put her face outside, was just crying, bawling her eyes out in the public. She did not even care. She was just hurting so much. That day she had gone out, she just went out to share herself. So she was thankful that the world was not dwelling on her scandal, because that evening she was talking to her friend. She was telling her, so she was like, that she felt grateful when she went out and nobody was focused on her. Like, she's glad that the world easily moves on and forgets. It means that she has a chance to just like get back to her life eventually, even though she doesn't know what it's going to look like. So it gave her relief, but the pain in her heart, it was not just letting up. Then the magazine issue of the month from the fashion company where Yu Jung works came out, and Bora was featured in it. That was before, when she was still believing in, yes, dating leads to proposal and happily ever after marriage. So that's the kind of issue she wrote today now. Did you get? So she was so embarrassed. Like, she now wanted to buy as many copies of the magazine, and that cost her thousands of dollars. This is somebody who currently does not have work, and to spend thousands of dollars to go and buy up as many copies of the magazine. Unfortunately for her, as the issue sold out, it was approved for reprinting. Like, the company approved it for reprinting, the publishers, since it did so well. The cover of the issue was Blackpink, the biggest girl group in the world. If you don't know Blackpink, they also another group I follow. Sorry, I'm not advertising K-pop, I promise. It's just, this is a drama. So her friend was like, just give it up. You cannot win this thing. Just give it up. Don't worry, people will forget. Because the cover of the magazine that Bora was featured in the cover is Blackpink, and you want to buy her. Do you know how famous Blackpink are? It's 8 million subscribers on YouTube. How do you want to beat that? I beg. So there was nothing else she could do to change the situation now. So she left it and moved on. Meanwhile, Bora dry cleaned Suhail's jacket. That jacket he used to cover her leg that night. And then she went to return it. She also bought cookies. Again, she was right outside Sangjin's door. Like the president, she overheard him talking about her. Again. Every time. This is like the third time now Bora has overheard men talking and bad-mouthing her. And twice is this guy, this Sanjin guy and Suhok. So Sanjay was saying that Bora's bad press is still press. Uncle has changed his mind. That politicians like to be talked about. It's like politicians, they like to be talked about whether it's for good or bad. So York was like, okay, so Bora is not a politician. I said, it's not like that, but we can just use this situation. Business people. Fear them. So there was a temp worker there. So Bora just passed the jackets and cookies to her, so that just tell them just give it to them. So the temp worker burst into the office to let them know that Bora just left. So Suhok now chased after her. He now had to call her and met her at a cafe near her house. He wanted to apologize to her. While they were there, Juwon came in. He had on a different haircut and a new shirt. It meant he wasn't moping around like her and had time to look good. Obviously. Seeing him brought fresh tears to her eyes, Bora begged Suhok to pretend to be having a good time with her. They went to a chicken place and ate, and he just hung out with her that day. So you're seeing how they're slowly becoming friends. So when he was walking her home, he suggested that she write about his experience. Bora was vehemently against it. She was like, I don't make a fool out of myself anymore. She also said that I'm financially stable. I don't have to depend on my past, my tears, and my stories to make money. She's going to eat those words. So Hawk reminded her that she was a writer, and it was irresponsible of her to end her story sadly. Because people are hoping for things to work out, for wounds to heal. Bora was like, I beg, let me deal with my own issues before I start worrying about people that are looking for a happy ending. I beg. The thing was, as they were walking home, she was feeling cold, although the weather was normal. And the thing is that she was so cold that when she got home, she got under her duvet, she took some medicine, but she got sicker. Even as she was sick, Auntie did not go to hospital. She'll wake up in the morning, person that is sick, after drinking this, instead of you to go and find food, drinking medicine, you go and pull out the wine and carry a wine glass and come and be drinking wine and crying. Heartbreak is a bastard. The most uncanny thing happened, Sha. Like, this is now me taking a mild detour to something lighter. You know Yang Jiho? Yang Jiho is the soldier guy who met and liked Bora's younger sister, Bomi, at the club. So, where he ended up getting a job, because you know that guy, the Jinho guy, he's like this cheerful, bright guy, and he was using these outlandish pickup lines, but he's so fine. And the way he liked Bomi is so earnest. And Bomi was just like, he seems pretty nice. But you know, girls now, they'll form. So, and he was actually looking for a job. And he was looking for a job near the bus stop that Bomi dropped off at. So where he ended up getting a job was at Yu Jung's husband's bar. Yu Jung is Bora's best friend. But her husband's bar, that's where the guy ended up working at. Like, look at how close he is to his dream girl. But, Fate is amazing. Because now, look at the connection here. The bar he's working at, his boss's his boss's wife's best friend's sister is a girl that he's wanting to meet again. Do you get? Very small word. In fact, the guy wasn't even the one who was supposed to be hired, because when he came for interview, he did not have any bar experience to work at the bar. But he connected instantly with Yu Jong's husband on the grounds that they have similar names. Yu Jong's husband's name is Yang Jin Woo. His own is Yang Jin Ho. So automatically they had the same nicknames when they were growing up. And Yang Jin Ho is just coming out from the army. Like Korea has this thing where all men must have a mandatory. You must serve in the military. Is mandatory for 18 months. So as this Jinho is coming out of the military, Jinho was like, okay, so you just come out of the military. So what division were you? What infantry were you? The same infantry. What division in the army? The same one. So, and Jiho had no place. He was like, oh, he's just going to find a place around here. And he doesn't know anything about wines. But Jiho was like, don't worry. I'll give you a place, a place under his house that his wife did not know about. His secret hangar room. Does all men have that thing? Like, you have a place under your house or a room in your house that your wife does not know about that you'll be escaping to. It's not like you don't love her, but I don't know. Most men used to have that man cave thing. Like, I've seen it on many shows now. I'm suspecting it's actually a real thing. Okay. So Jingo had no place and knew nothing about wines, but he was just like, Jingo was like, don't worry, I'll teach you. He gave him a place. Talk about destiny. And the guy wasn't saying anything. The Jingo guy, that is destiny that brought him here. He just felt cool to come to the bar to apply. And Jingo was just going him like, you don't have said, like, okay, what's this nigga talking about? But look at how they just connected. So actually, there are things like fate and destiny. Forget that it's drama. So meanwhile, back to Bora's gloominess and then Suhok and everything. So Suhok now, the guy too that is going through his own heartbreak. He tried to throw away the ring that he bought for his ex, but he couldn't. Why? The ring was expensive. Even when we're doing this heartbreak thing, we cannot throw money away. At least this is the guy, he's more practical than her. How that went to go and buy a magazine worth thousands of dollars and you don't have work. Okay. So this was happening at the Han River. If you watch Korean dramas at all, you know that Han River is very popular. It's in Seoul, that they are capital city and everything. So he turned to leave. So when he saw, as he just said, I better let him start going home to the house surf after he finished whipping around. As he turned to leave, he saw Juwan, that Bora's ex-boyfriend, with the girl that he cheated with. The small girl he said he's going to take home. They were walking together. They were on a date. Juwan was so over Bora. Meanwhile, Bora calls to hug the next day. She was in tears. She was like, that day we saw Juwan at that cafe, that time, did he look like he regretted breaking up with me? So Hawk was like, no, he looked relieved because he was just blunt and said, Bora, don't do anything that is in your head. Don't do it. Don't try it. Bora did not hear. She couldn't. Her heart was paining her. Like, I was crying with this girl through this point because if I start gisting what I have done when I broke up with people, it's not even real boyfriend self. At least it would have made sense. Like flings of situationships of 2 months. See, heartbreak is a bitch. Is a bastard. God forbid. So Auntie could not listen. So she went to wait for Juwan in front of his house. As he came back from work, she was not begging him, please take me back. Can't we go back to how we were before? That it was me. I'm the one at fault. I let my temper get the best of me. She was just so pitiful. Like, I cried in that scene. Jesus, because she was sick. And then she's now crying. And she's now taking alcohol. And she's not eating. She was even wearing her pajamas. And this is a woman who in her lucid moments would be like, hey, if a guy cheats or breaks up with you or treats you in the way that Juwan treated her, be done with him. But it's not her. But when Suhok came, because Suhok guessed that she went there, so he came to find her there. And she was truly there. And she was now saying that she has never experienced heartbreak before. This is a woman like well into her 30s, maybe early 40s. She had never experienced heartbreak before. That she was just so overwhelmed that she felt as if she was physically dying. So like Suhok, as he came to Juwan's house now, because he guessed that Bora went there. He now came, he was now trying to comfort her. She was just bawling her eyes out. God, my God. As I'm saying this, and I feel like crying. I don't even know self. And the thing is, she kept whimpering like a wounded animal. Like she sounded so wounded. As if it's a physical ailment that you take her to hospital and they'll patch her. She was in her pajama. Jesus. I beg. So Suhok comforted her. He comforted her, took her home. She was still crying in the car. Once he got to his own house, he just couldn't shake off the feeling because she said something about feeling like she was going to die, like this, that, because she was like, she called him. I was like, you said this is going to get better. He said, but why do I feel like I'm going to die? She was just so that's the thing. So he was like, I hope she doesn't kill herself. No, he was like, no, she can't do anything so extreme. No, she can't. As he was thinking this, obviously in her house, but her sister Bomi, I don't know. I'm saying Bomi as though is a Yoruba name. Bomi. It's Bomi. So Bomi heard water running in the bathroom, like in the house bathroom, and it continued for long. She was like, why is she now knocked on the door like, Uni, are you in there? She was not answering. The door was locked too, so she now started panicking that why is water running and nobody's answering me, and she knows that her sister is inside there. I hope my sister has not done anything. She was now panicking. She found the spare keys to the bathroom. Her hand was even shaking. The key dropped. She picked it up. She opened it. As she unlocked it, she found Bora fully dressed in the bathtub. And Bora was passed out in the bathtub, and she was fully dressed. And the wrist side of her clothes, like, because she was wearing like long boyfriend jackets, let's call it long boyfriend jacket, like those white ones, so you can see it was evidently stained red, like the sleeves of the clothes around where the wrist is was stained red, as if she had slashed her wrist. Bumi rushed to her, said, shaking her wig. Thankfully she was fine, like Bora was fine. She had just thrown up all the wine she was drinking. She had just vomited wine. So the experience, so Bumi was now crying like, sister, I don't care, like, I don't care what you're going, like, it's not that she doesn't care what you're going through, but I know what you're going through is so bad, but can you not see that I'm here? That me, mommy, daddy, like, their parents are here for you. That please, that if you die, what am I going to do if you die? Like, she was crying, and I think it's her tears and the way she was just like, calling her sister, like, can you come back to me? Can you come back to me? So it was literally Bomi that returned Bora firmly to earth, and she's like, don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. Don't worry. So the next day, Bora woke up with renewed vigor, decided to do a thorough cleanup of the house, including removing items from her wardrobe that reminded her of Juwan. And a lot of expensive items now, because Bora is a material girl. So she asked her sister to throw it out. Her sister was like, all this waste. So what her sister did was, trust Bomi now, she business savvy Bomi, she put up those items on his website for second-hand sales. So Bora went through, like, Bomi made a lot of money from her sister's things instead of just throwing them away or putting them in trash. So meanwhile, Bora went through her social media messages and discovered that a lot of fans had actually written to her about their own heartbreak experiences and felt sane because she shared her own story and has experienced what they went through or are going through. So it really brought her a lot of comfort. Also, they were like, so she found out, I'm not the only person going through heartbreak and all of that, and it was actually comforting for her. So Bomi also visited the doctor. I mean, Bora, not Bomi. Bomi is her sister. Bora visited the doctor, and she was diagnosed with alcohol gastritis. She's been taking too much wine lately, so they just recommended medication for her to stay off wine. Meanwhile, Suhok tried to get a refund for the ring, but diamonds are not refundable. Bora also started looking for other homes, like Bora now. Our girl, Deborah, she wanted to move out of the present one. She just wanted to start afresh. So she told, and the thing is that she only paid for 1 year. I think 1 year. She at the time when she bought the house, she paid for the house. She could have bought the house, but she didn't want to buy the house because, I'm getting married soon and everything. The person, the agent was like telling her, that you relied on men. That please, next time rely on property. They're more reliable than men. I told you that time that I could have just borrowed, loaned small money from the bank and bought out this house. That because obviously real estate is always rising. Apparently it's a worldwide thing. Bora went house hunting and told her sister, okay, I'm going house hunting to find a new house. So while on house hunting, Bora tested her younger sister and was like, can you make a transfer to this account? Or she now said that I'm trying to transfer, but my card is not working, or something is not working. If my card is at home, please can you make a transfer to this account? And I said, is it for the, so Bomi now asked, how's the house hunting going? I said, yes. That I want to make a deposit. That the deposit is 40 million won. 40 million won is $40,000. It's not small money. Bomi was like, because Bomi was sweeping the house then, she was like, I don't want to go out though, but she still went and sent the money. It wasn't until Yujong and Bora were hanging out and someone tested Yujong. Like, imagine you're with me, like both of us are together like this now, and then as I'm with you like this, I texted you, but I'm talking with you. You're like, that's when Bora realized that someone was texting her contacts, pretending to be her and asking for money. Are you seeing are you seeing what's happening here? So Bora immediately sent a message to all her contacts and warned them that they should not give anybody money, that someone hacked into her account and hacked into her messaging account and is messaging people as her. Go home, and she told her sister that this is what happened though. Bomi was now panicking. Like, so who sent me message? It was not you. So they hurried to the police to try to catch the fishers, but it was no longer possible to catch them. Like the people that, that they sent the $40,000 to, because significant time had passed already. And another person that was a victim to this thing was Suhok. Suhok that has been helping her now. That guy. Because some, Bora, fake Bora texted him asking for $5,000 that should pay in 2 days, and then he sent it. Do you understand? And Bora, he now came to the police station too. Now, obviously, when they heard it was a scam, and she was not like that. Why did you send that money? Why did you send that money? He was not saying that she's been in too many mess lately, and so money didn't even seem like the most normal thing she should be in. Bora felt bad and was like, and she was saying this thing of that I've told you, didn't I tell you that after that last incident, that even if you see me turn a blind eye, that why did you send me that money? Okay, she just said it she didn't say it harshly, but more like she felt bad. Do you get? And the guy was like that this is going to be our last time of seeing. Don't worry, I'm going to pretend I don't know you, because Bora was so embarrassed that the guy kept seeing her in her low moments. So she's like, she doesn't want to see him anymore. But you know how fate used to happen now. Like, you finish planning one thing, life already has other plans for you. Meanwhile, Bomi felt so bad. She just kept crying. Like Bora's younger sister, she kept crying. She was just inconsolable. Meanwhile, the policemen did not help matters. They're saying, that if Bomi used to watch news, she'll know how fishers, how all these scammers used to work. And do you understand? Like, Bora defended her sister and was like, that my sister watches the news a lot. And actually, Bomi, like, the drama were very key. They showed that part of her very well. The girl used to watch news. She'd just put news channel. She'd just be watching news. Like, it was just something that could happen to anybody. Anybody can be scammed. And then when Bomi kept crying, Bora had to look up other people that had been scammed. Some prominent people that you not think they could have been scammed. Even lawyers got scammed. So as she told her sister, it lightened her up. So as Bomi calmed down, she went to bring out the money that she made from selling her sister's things. Bora was amazed. She was like, then if we don't have money for house, at least we have money for food. We won't be hungry. She didn't scold her. They just readjusted the price of certain things. So she was just like, she didn't even scold her for like, you are selling these things I told you to try out. She just said, this is more expensive now. That's why I selling it at this price. Oh yeah, add $100 to it. Okay, add 50. Do you understand? Just readjusted the price. Joined her. Like, the sisters got along, and I really, really like. That's another thing about the drama I really appreciate. And if I'm to watch the drama more, that's another thing. I love the relationship the sisters have. Don't think that Bomi will still be all sweet. She still has her moments, but I think that's the point of siblings. Like, they'll fight with you and everything, but they'll always be there for you when you need them the most. Like, it's just beautiful. So, and Bomi also asked, but I hope you're not badly affected by this situation. Bora just lied to her. Don't worry, I'm not poor. I have a lot of money. Don't worry about it. This is $40,000. $40,000. Hey, okay. So while looking for a way to raise money so they will not end up on the streets, because after Bora finished lying that they have money, she now started looking low-key. Where I go raise money now that we use and pay deposits, because they've already sold the apartment, and then them, like Bora and her sister, needed to move out before a certain date so that the people that they sold the house to can move in. So Bora came across the mail that Sanjin sent since. So part of the terms of agreement, Sanjin is that president of Jinli Publishing. That if you listen to the first part, that was a mail that he sent that she was supposed to like go through and then sign the contract. But because of it's that night that she found out that the boyfriend was cheating, and she's been dealing with heartbreak since then. This is the first time she's been looking at she's looked at her mail since then, and she looked at her mail because she's trying to find a way to make money. So part of the terms of agreement was like $1,000 payment, $100,000 down payment. That's a lot of money. Bora did not know if the guy was actually bluffing or if it's true. So she had to call her friend Yujong, because Yujong that introduced her to the Sanjin. And so Yujong was like, that he can afford to pay the money since he owned a building. In Korea, if you own a building in Seoul, you're like billionaire in their eye. Like, oh my God, he's an almighty building owner. That he can afford it. I don't know. Real estate is really, I don't know. It's really something else in Korea from what I've seen and heard about in movies. in their movies. So swallowing her pride, Bora went to his office to strike a deal. Do you understand? She had already said all the things that she has said. I'm not going to make money with my past, my money and tears. I am financially stable. All the that she finished talking. But now that she got scammed, she had to return to the office to strike a deal. And she tried not to show how desperate she was, because she was trying to use Donald Trump's negotiating principle. And Donald Trump is a book, actually. And it was like, the worst thing you can possibly do in a deal is seem desperate to make it. So she knew she had to sign that contract, that deal, end up on the streets. Fortunately for her, she was going to be signed on, but unfortunately, she felt as if she sold her soul to the devil, because she ended up pleading with Sanjay to make the payment quicker. So from Seahawk later, when they all went out for to celebrate with a dinner and everything, Bharat found out that, because as she came to the office, this girl, as she was outside the door, she was like that, she has to announce it in a loud voice. If you're talking bad about me now, stop, because I'm about to come in. That kind of thing. Because the two times she'd come to their office, they were actually speaking bad about her. And that day, they were actually still talking about her, but not bad mouthing. Sanjay was begging Sihok to call her and invite her to sign the contract. So if she had waited a little more, if she had not been like so desperate to get money, so they would not end up on the streets, they were actually going to call her to come and still sign that contract. But now she carried her leg go there and then now begged. And regardless, Sanjay was a better negotiator, because he even had that same Donald Trump's book in his personal chef, and knew that same principle that Bharat did. The worst thing you can possibly do in a deal is seem desperate to make it. Because apparently there was a time Donald Trump was broke. But you never know. Oga looks so cool. Like, yeah, he's the one doing you a favor if you strike this deal. So he's a very good negotiator. So I think I'll actually read that book. I want to learn how to negotiate. He too, Ma, was low-key sweating, because Bora, you need to see when she was making this deal. Sweat, her back air, this one. Same thing with the Sanjay. But us that were watching, you don't know he was sweating and nervous. He just appeared calm. So he was actually the better negotiator between both of them. Although both of them were good. Because you need to see Bora. Bora literally sold thin air. Like, she literally just pitched idea for a book and got $100,000 without writing it. So she's actually not bad at all. She's really like, she's straight in her own way. Do you get? So after the deal was signed, they went out with the colleagues at the office to celebrate, and Bora got drunk again. Somebody that is not supposed to be drinking alcohol. So she took the bus with Suhok. So Suhok wanted to take her home safely. So, however, she was so pressed on the way that they had to stop so that she could pee. She ended up peeing in a sloppy alley, like an alley now. It's cemented and everything. And her urine ran all the way down to where Suhok was standing, keeping watch for her. Like, that is so embarrassing. But you know how when we are small, you pee somewhere and the urine will now start running down, like down to where he was standing. So the next morning, Bora was so embarrassed when she remembered. She now started avoiding Suhok, although she was supposed to have a meeting with him, as he was our editor. They were supposed to talk regarding the book project, and he was, you need to see me. You need to see the excuse she was coming up with. You will laugh at. Meanwhile, Jinho met Bora at the bar. And he was an avid fan. Jiho is that same guy now. Like the guy that liked Bora's sister, Bomi. He now met Bora. And he was actually already a fan of her, like of her books and everything. Although she no longer gave this advice, because Bora was like, hey, she's no longer doing that. She heard him out when he was like, that he had the question to ask. And then he now explained the situation. That there's this girl he liked. And, he met the girl twice in one night. And he believed was destiny. They exchanged numbers, and he texted her often until she threatened to block him if he texted her one more time. So he just left the one more chance. So Bora was like, okay, don't use the one more chance. That if you think, since you believe it's destiny, just wait, people are going to run into each other again. And then you can know for sure if it's really the destiny. That chance came because Juno saw a sweatshirt that Bomi posted to be sold secondhand. That thing now that she posted. And then she came to meet him to deliver it. And then he was so excited. And he told Bomi that if they meet one more time, that she would go out with him. And actually, that time that he stopped texting her, Bomi was like, that was with this guy. He gives up too easily. See women now. She's the one that told him, see, I want more test away from getting blocked. Or go stop texting you. But the one that was missing him, like, did he just give up like that? So now that she met him again, she was still forming, But Ko was like, so cheerful. And was like, Jinho, that see, if we meet one more time, you must go out with me. That sort of thing. So meanwhile, Bora and her sister, they were able to move into another apartment. And Suhok, having finally realized that Bora will keep avoiding him. Goodness, you need to see her mistake. You need to see her excuses. Her excuses were so much that when he called her that day, I was like, okay, so can we have a meeting tomorrow? She was like, that a muscle in my neck pulled. He was like, yes, that should happen around today. Like, do you Somebody has given me excuses to the point that the person now said, and he's like, yes, that should happen around. So he now said, okay, that look at another alternative, that they should have a video call. They get so on the video call, it was just so sudden. She did not even get a chance. Of course, so he had chance. She now carried her this thing, the headband that she used to tie around her hair. She now put it in her neck like a neck brace. She now kept her neck stiff. And you know the way she was out, she was so convincing. Obviously from the video that he was worried until Yujong and Bomi came in. Like they came in, you know, her laptop was facing her, but he could hear their voices that they came into the room and everything, like because she was in the parlor, and then Yujong brought things for the housewarming party. She was talking about it, not knowing that Bora was on the call. Yujong came to see what Bora was watching. Like, oh, are you watching good stuff without me? But me joined in too. And then she recognized him from the police station now. From that day, they were scammed. So she now invited him for housewarming. Yujong did too. Bora did not have say in the matter. It's 2 against 1. So what? Yujong asked Bora, okay, that why are you wearing your headband on your head like that, on your neck like that? She now put it up from her neck to her hair, exposing her in front of the guy. Then, and as she finished exposing her, hand Bomi got up and left. I left Bora to continue with her video call. Obviously, Bora, they've already caught you now. She don't give up. She started pretending like, the network is cutting. But the guy just stopped. I'm just looking at her like, really? Am I supposed to fall for that one too? She just gave up. She now started smiling. She just, God, her smile was just so adorable. Do you understand? Like, at least they're getting somewhere. I really love this drama so far. Now that I've just finished talking about it, I'm tempted to download it today. Like, I'm so tempted to download it this night and continue at least up until episode 10 or so. Now, on the side, like, let's end it with this. On the side, Yujong wanted a brand new designer bag and she wanted to get it for herself. Do you get? So to justify getting it, she made up an event. You know, this kind of thing that she's married now. So it's not like she's wasting money. She's not like, I have to make up an event. You know, so as her husband came home that day, Auntie set up table with food and lights and candles. As her husband entered the house, man was terrified. I was like, Jesus, what day is it? Today is not her birthday. Today is not her anniversary. So what day is this? And she was like, don't worry. That today is the day we got matching polos. I'm supposed to remember the days we got matching polos. She asked him, don't worry. That she was like, Dad, I don't get any gift though. I'm sorry. She was like, don't worry, I got a gift for myself. So she tried to downplay that the bag is original, because it's a designer bag. She was like, that I got an imitation. And then he was like, that why would you buy an imitation for yourself? That in fact, throw that imitation away. That you deserve the best. So I was not trying to take the bag from her. This time they were just pulling the bag in opposite directions until she yelled at him that he should stop. She was like, is it a crime? I wanted to buy something for myself and I can afford it. Is it a crime? So she was nearly in tears. And the guy was just shocked. Her husband, he now had to hug her and start consoling her. I was like, don't worry, that no, you can buy good things for yourself. He now even brought out the bag, put it on her. I was like, wow, this bag is so fine on you. He not even stopped there. He was like, don't worry, I'm going to go out on a date this weekend so you can show off this bag. This couple, Yujong and her husband, they're so sweet and dramatic, very ideal. So this is the question I'm going to ask now. Do you want to watch this drama to the end? And then the second question, like, would you like to see more episode specials like this? This is just something I wanted to try out. And I'm not going to lie, Shy, it was a little hard because, but it was fun to do. Anyhow, so would you want more episode specials like this? So I really love to hear what you think. And thank you so much for listening up until this point. Good night.